Everybody out there in the music community, this is Mike or Soldier 777 here, and hope everyone's having a great Friday. This is Friday, January 28th when I'm doing this video, and I figured I'd show you a recent What's Spinning video. But before I do that, I want to do a shout out of a few music members. There's a young lady, I think from New Zealand, named Amanda Dempsey. She only got 9 subscribers. She don't actually get in front of camera to show videos, but she mostly just shows her collection with the camera facing the music she's showing. Usually they're short, minute or two or three videos, I think they are. She only got 9 subscribers, so let's give Amanda Dempsey some encouragement by subscribing to her channel. She's a young lady, I think she's in her 20s. And she likes mostly 80s hard rock and metal, like Stryper, Kiss, and bands like that. I also want to mention another subscriber, David Stinson. David Stinson's got 23 subscribers, and he shows mostly Christian, contemporary Christian music, and hard rock and metal, ranging from, I believe, so far, and he's going through his collections. He's got probably roughly around 1,700 CDs, plus he'll show movies too and other interests. But he's got 1,700 CDs right now, and he likes everything from, say, the current contemporary Christian music like Jeremy Camp, right up to the classic hard rock and metal like Bride and those kinds of bands. So let's give him some help bump up his subscriptions to his videos as well. So make sure you guys go and like these people's pages. Let's give them some encouragement. So therefore, I'm going to show you some what's spinning, and I'm going to highlight 2 of the major retailers that reissue and sell mostly Christian music, which is Girder Music and Rox Productions. So back a while back, I ordered some albums, and this is sort of a revisiting of a classic band in Christian metal. The band Leviticus is from Sweden, and back in the day, back in the around 86 period, or 86 I think it was, or 87. Yeah, 87. I had their cassette, English version of I Shall Conquer on cassette, and I didn't really get into them back in that time. And I also had Knights of Heaven taped off on the tape. But that was pretty much the extent of my Leviticus collection, was those 2 albums, one taped off and one original. So back during when I heard these albums were getting reissued, I ordered these albums from Girder Music, and let's discuss these right now. So here we have Leviticus, I Shall Conquer. And I showed these before in a prior video. And when I listened to this album, I Shall Conquer, and this originally came out in 1984, by the way. I like it. I like it much better from what I remember from having cassette back in the day. I find that the cassette was only J card, never had no lyrics or no, sound breakdown like that. And I find back then when you have a cassette without the sound breakdown by lyrics, I find it hard to get into an album, especially if you not totally into the music. But when I listen to this album with all the lyrics and all the great job that Scott Rogers has done, and Girder Music and Rob Caldwell with the great pictures on the inside, I really like this album much better. I find a lot of great tunes in this one. And back when I had a cassette, I wasn't totally fussy about the lead singer, which is the bass player. I believe back then they were a 3-piece band for a while. They were originally formed in 81. Hakal Anderson was the lead singer. And I find back that I wasn't totally fussy about the lead singer, but I find he's growing on me. After listening to this album and their other albums, I find that he's growing on me much more. Now, no fault to Rob Caldwell, but when I find when I listen to this one compared to other ones, I do find the vocals kind of buried. I do find the vocals kind of like buried in the mix. No fault to Rob Caldwell, just the way the original mastering was done, or the original recording was done. But when I listen to the next one, Strongest Power, I find this album is better than this one. I find the vocals are more up front. And I do like this album as well. So I gave this one a listen to as well. And I find the Volk is a really good album. There's a lot of great songs. I find with each subsequent album, they tend to improve more and more with each subsequent album. I mean, you got like, I think there's two songs that stand out to me. On the Rock and King of Kings are two good songs. I think my favorite song in this one is King of Kings. Is a really good song. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good album. I mean, a lot of great songs in this one. Again, another great job done by Girder Music, Scott Waters, and Rob Cowell, whoever else is involved. So great album. The next one, which I wasn't totally familiar with, I never had in my collection. Another one, of course, I never had this in my collection either, and which is Setting Fire to the Earth. And by that time, Leviticus, which came out in '87, this one came out in '85, and by that time, Leviticus went through a member change. Hakal Anderson was no longer in the band, but they had new members Ez Gomer on bass and vocals, and Terry H on lead vocals. So here we have Setting Fire to the Earth, which came out in '87. I find that these two were more traditional hard rock metal. I find it quite similar to that European hard rock like Deep Purple. Also notice there's sort of hints of, to me, sometimes just got a bit of a Motorhead type vibe to it on certain songs, the way it's done as well. But if you like the classic stuff, like probably Uriah Heep, hear a bit of that in it, probably Deep Purple, maybe a little bit of the Scorpions, that kind of vibe to it. This one's here is much more commercial. Like if you like Europe and some of the '80s European metal, this kind of reminds me of those kinds of bands. So yeah, great album. I mean, a lot of great songs. This one, Flames of Fire. What else is there? Suffering Servant. I got a great ballad called Love Is Love. Save is a great one. Yeah, it's got a lot of good songs in this one, and like I said, love the layout of this one. Very well done with the layout. So yeah, and this '87, the last album they came out with before they broke up in around 1990 or '91 was Leviticus, Knights of Heaven. And again, this is another improvement to the prior stuff. I mean, great album. And I had this one taped up. I don't think I thoroughly listened to it. So this was a great revisit to a classic album. I mean, it's got great tunes like Born Again, World Goes Round, Messiah, Over the Hills. A lot of great songs. For Once in My Life, got a couple good ballads. For Once in My Life, great ballad. And they had another slight lineup change. They had Nicholas Franklin on bass and P.O. Peterson on lead vocals and keyboards. So yeah, and inside that was green. It was great layout. I love the artwork and that kind of stuff. And now, I went through all their music, and I think my favorite Leviticus song overall is Over the Hills. That's a great tune. I love that song. Over the Hills is great. And the Knights of Heaven is mentioned in the lyrics, which is the name of the album. So I guess you can call it the title track. I guess I don't know. I mean, even though it's called by a different name. But yeah, great album. A lot of great songs in this one. So I'm really glad I got some good music. And as usual, Greg Hayes does a great job with reissuing the albums and getting permission from for the licensing distribution of these albums. As you can see, the spine kind of matches up together. You see the light there, and here's the other side. So that's great. Also, we have the Leviticus Live at Bauhaus as well, which came in 2003. Another great addition to my collection. This sort of summarizes their prior 4 albums as well on this album. And I think there's a track or two on this one from the Bjorn Stigson album as well. And P.O. Pearson does the lead vocals on this one. So a lot of great tunes of this. I mean, you got like Flames of Fire, Save, Messiah, Oh Lord, Majestic in Power. On the Rock, All Is Calm was a great tune from the first album. Born Again, Suffering Service, Deborah Barak, and I'm Gonna Rock. I'm Gonna Rock is from the Bjorn Stigson solo album. And also, there's another one from the album as well. Majestic in Power. That's from Bjorn Stigson's album as well. But yeah, I mean, this is a great to have in my collection. So there you have it, folks. That's my Leviticus mention. There you have it. All their CDs in its glory and everything like that. So I'm really glad it has my collection. I really enjoy these albums. It's a great listen, and the mixes and the remastering is really good. I mean, it got the highs and lows addressed as well. So it's really great. When I ordered that from Gerder Music, I also ordered Bjorn Stixon solo album as well, Together with Friends, which is a great album. This is an awesome album. It's got a lot of great songs. It's got like 12 songs, and there's nine or 10 or 8 or 9 or 10 of them that they're totally great. There's a Come On, it's a great song. Love My Woman, I'm Gonna Rock, that's a great tune. Sure got that Deep Purple vibe in my mind. Way of Living, Majestic and Power. Yeah, so it's a great, and it comes with Power Belt, I'm Free, it's a great tune as well. So here's a Bjorn Stixon, Together with Friends. This is on my Rocks Records under Bill Baffer. And again, Rob Cowell and Scott Water was involved in the mastering as well. Great job. Like I said, on the gold disc version. So it's great that they're reissuing these lovely, great, awesome albums from back in the day. So yeah, so this is great from Rocks Records. This is a Rock Records, but I got this from I bought this from Gerder Records, but it's a Rocks Records production. From directly from Rocks Records though, one of my second last order. I also ordered a vinyl version of Bjorn Stixon Together with Friends. I haven't listened to this one yet, but I'm going to be listening to this later on. But this is going to be equally great or greater than the CD version. So I need to pick up the vinyl version of this as well. So let me listen to this in the upcoming weeks or so. And I'll give you guys a report on how I found this to be as well. But yeah, this is a great addition too. So we got that charcoal mix on the vinyl there. If you notice the charcoal mix there. So there you have it. I haven't listened to this one yet, but I will be soon in the coming weeks, as time permits. Also, what I've also listened to was Striper Goddamn Evil, the Record Store Day version. I bought this back in June. And here you have it. Comes a bonus track, Can't Live Without Your Love, which is the acoustic version. And it comes in a turquoise vinyl. Now, the reason why I mentioned this record and listened to it, because I'm trying to go through my records too, and most of my CDs, but I got a lot of records I got to listen to yet, was Black Star Vinyl. Rob mentioned the fact that he picked up that version too, but he noticed that the first track had issues. So that prompted me to listen to the album as well. So I went through the entire album, and I didn't notice any issues on the album, except maybe in between songs, might have been a few pops and cracks, but these normal on most records. But on the first track, Take It to the Cross, that intro, I do notice a few pops and cracks, but nothing major. But the rest of the album plays fine. I think on one part of my vinyl is skipped a bit, but I think it might have been a bit of duster, so I cleaned off my record and played fine after. So I figured, so this album plays good overall. And Rob Caldwell mentioned he had issues with his. If you guys have a copy of this record state version, maybe you can give a listen and maybe comment below of how you found the album to be. If it played fine, if you noticed any issues, that kind of thing. And let me know or comment below. I'm going to link Black Star Finals, Rob's video in my description below. And I'll link his to that as well. Let you know as well. There you have it, folks. That's my What's Listening version. At the end, before I sign off, I want to mention this something as well. I had chat with someone, was selling a few CDs. I asked if he was interested. He said he wasn't. But we had a little chat with this chap on Messenger. He mentioned the fact that a lot of these Christian artists wasn't living up to the Christian lifestyle, and which was no surprise to me. Now, I also mentioned to him where, because he thinks they're not living a lifestyle. I mentioned to him that if you listen to Christian music, we're not, and I mentioned to the effect that we're not responsible for the kind of lifestyle that these artists lives. I mean, what they do in the run of a day, in my opinion, between them and God. I did mention that there are artists that smoke cigarettes to him. And I also mentioned to him that the distinction between Christian music and non-Christian is not as clear cut. And that's why I don't use the term Christian rock. I use the term Christian-oriented music, in which the focus is on Christ and his work on the cross. That is a focus of it. And I said to him, I said, sometimes these artists and musicians hire non-Christians to be directly involved in the band or as a hired musician. For example, Dave Amato of REO Speedwagon and John Elefante worked together to come up with those Mastodon albums. And Dave Amato would sing lead vocals on the more in-your-face gospel songs on those 3 albums, or at least the first 2, I think. And it's Jungle and Lufcadio. So I gave that an example to the person I was talking to. And we don't know of his spiritual condition. We don't know if he's a Christian or if he's not. He doesn't come and say it. So, and also, Ken Temples have hired non-Christians. Rob Rock has hired non-Christians. So, where do you draw a line between Christian and not? And to me, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. It's how the music makes me feel. If it's uplifting, do I get something from the music? Does it enrich my life? That's what I usually base on. And the music doesn't have to be Christian. I also ask him, I say, look, do you hire a plumber? Do you hire a Christian plumber? That kind of thing. Also, that's pretty much just what I said to him. I'm saying to you guys that if you have a painting of a beautiful landscape with a cabin, do you stop and think, well, is that painter a Christian? Or is that painter a non-Christian? I don't think that. I just think the painting, because I'm big into artwork. That's why I collect vinyl CDs, and I enjoy looking at a nice painting in a store or at a gallery or something like that, and seeing what's involved and trying to think of what the person was thinking when he was painting that picture, or a portrait of a person probably from 100 years ago, I mean, I don't think, well, are they Christian? Are they not a Christian? Are they, that kind of thing. I don't think like that, because... And the lead singer of the band Triton made a good point where a lot of these artists who aren't Christians, God gave them their talent, but there's a disconnect between them and their creator if they're not a Christian. I mean, you can listen to a piece of music written by someone that you don't know if it's a Christian, like an instrumental or a classical composer. You don't know if that person is a Christian, but you're enjoying the music for what it is. That's the way I look at it, right? So, I mean... Yes, I mean, music is music. I mean, whether it's Christian or non-Christian, but I tend to use the term Christian-oriented to let people know that the focus is on Christ. But the music itself is amoral. It doesn't, there's no like right and wrong with music itself. It depends on the motive that a person puts into the music itself. If it has no lyrics, or if it has lyrics, it makes you listen to it and give it more of a complete picture. Anyway, that's my thoughts, folks. Let me know what you think, and and be sure to subscribe to the 2 folks I mentioned, Amanda Dempsey and David Stinson, giving some support. I mean, and we're all here to learn about music and learn from each other, what we like, what we don't like, and that's why I show my music, because not to show off my music, say I got this, you don't. I just always like sharing my music, and hopefully you guys will like what I'm showing. All right, folks, have a great day. Bye now.